Hey guys, we're back with what I like to call the letter, because that's what it's called. I just drank some lemonade, and now I'm kind of starting to lose my voice. Sorry. Let's continue. There we go. That should be better. Let's go ahead and skip. We just started Rebecca's route. We finished Marianne. It's all in one go last time. I think this cold caught up to me is the right choice. Let's look at the flow chart. This cold caught up with me is positive, Isabella.
And during the open house, even if there were a lot of
I think we're negative, Isabella before, so. Oh, we're dots. Oh, did the car accident just end? It begins innocently enough. Tuesday morning arrives like any other day before it. Bright and cheer. Bright and clear, not cheery. Or I said cheer. This is, I assume, when Isabella died. Yeah, it is. Well, you know, she's not dead now because... I assume this one's coma and... Even though it comes with an extra helping of unusual October weather, I appreciate being able to catch a glimpse of the clear skies lately. Desperate to deal with her painful past, Marianne excused herself from attending the housewarming party to search for Amy Lorraine within the mansion. Seeing her ghost in the white sailor, however, her relay station hit her and she finally let go. And then we already saw the camera one. And yeah, Rebecca got a call from Rose, you know. After going through a bout of sickness last week, does something to lift the mood of what would otherwise be a dreary morning. Despite being mostly a creature of habit, I wound up waking earlier than usual because of it. Still no earlier than Isabella. What's that sound? Oh, that's the news. I thought that was the ghost. Still no earlier than Isabella, it appears. I've assumed she'll take a day or two off because of what happened to Miss Cooper, but that doesn't seem to be the case. The sound of the morning news stretched from her unit, and I walked past her on my way to the mailbox. Chances are, around this hour, she's already dressed and ready to go, probably just waiting for the next bus to arrive. I've tried following your example before, but I don't think I'll be repeating that.
Really? How can anyone be up before the sun is up?
And Ashton's gonna be there in romance drama. It's a habit she got from home, she said. Instilled in her by the kind of life she grew up in. Like clockwork, it's always at 4 a.m., either to help with the chores or prepare her little siblings for school. 4 a.m.? To help, like... So, school starts at 8, let's say. I imagine it's the same in the... Where she lived, the Philippines, I want to say? Let's look at the journal. I want to say that's where she's from. Yeah, probably. Anyway. Wait. Hold on. I'm, Filipino. Is Filipino down? Okay, Filipino and Philippines are the same thing. Okay. The Filipinos. Yeah. Alright. The people who are native are identified with the country of the Philippines. Okay. I wanted to make sure I wasn't an idiot. My knowledge of geography isn't that good. Like, I can't point to the Philippines on a map. Where are they? What? No, I don't want Philippines. There we go. I don't know what I'm... No, I don't want a zoomed-in version. I want, like, a... They're right there. So they're east of Vietnam. Okay, and south of Taiwan. I don't know geography. I mean, I can point to you, like, any state in the U.S. And I can point to you where Canada is on a map. It's the best I can do. Surprised me the first time. She didn't look like someone who could. In the end, I've simply passed it off as one of the many things anyone will have to get used to around her. Not that I'll ever fully understand. I'm my parents' only child. We aren't well off, but so far, lived a relatively easy life. I didn't have to think about bills or food for the next day, or paying for any sibling's tuition on the top of my own, supporting a sick father's medication. All I have to worry about were my grades. Would give Mama dot approval. What would have for dinner? Why not? The one letter. That's all it takes. When put next to hers, they all pale in comparison. They look like less problems and more like petty issues this way.
Petty issues?
But as unimportant as it all sounds, sometimes its ugly head rears at the most inappropriate moments. Sometimes they come through your mailbox in the form of a fancy-looking letter. Pretty ribbons and all. This is the party? Whoever sent this has spent silly money on the envelope alone. Verging on ridiculous, really. Can already imagine Isabella wrinkling her nose when she sees this. Then she'll complain about unnecessary expenses and rich people problems. I'm almost afraid to touch it myself. As if simply brushing a hand against its crisp surface will be enough to put a crease on it, it'll be a terrible slight to the sender. But extravagant as I find this isn't really the first time I've received one. Most of the time it's not even for me, so who am I to complain? Either way, no look of surprise crosses my face once I flip the envelope over to see my parents' name written on it in neat script.
Nothing new then.
They're using the Academe, naturally brought with it various connections. People from other fields, art, science, business, politics, you name it. This one, though, gives off a much more personal vibe. Letters like this usually come from old students, people who've grown fond of my parents, and they in turn treat like children of their own. I've only met a few of them. Most have moved on to become successful in their chosen careers. Little letters like this are their way of expressing gratitude. It's one thing Mom and Da are proud of, rightfully so, and I'm happy for them. But there are times I wish they'll remember they have a daughter here. I feel like we've heard this monologue before. The real one. Not that it's of any importance now. It's not like they didn't raise me well and provided for me. They did. I wouldn't be where I am now if it weren't for their hard work. Like a dutiful child, I do everything I can to give back. And we've already heard this. So.
Hi, Mum. How's the conference going?
I want to protect that smile. But we're gonna just skip a little. We've already read a scene equivalent to this.
It's an invitation, Mum.
This
for a
is just
housewarming party.
If Isabella's dead, she's just at a diner or the cafe, whatever you want to call it, the restaurant. I'm feeling sorry for herself. Well, for Isabella, but also herself. And they're busy and her dad broke his leg, I want to say? Yeah, I could go in your place.
What you know. Don't you remember?
Yeah, and she met Hannah before. Mandy? Who's Mandy? To some extent. Who's Mandy? Mom must have scared my confusion because...
Don't push yourself too hard, darling.
Anyway.
Really? It felt like having two daughters back then. Sometimes I wish they didn't send. Still, try talking to her while you're there.
Oh, we'll see.
I'm looking forward to it.
We'll do. Bye. Tell
She chuckles then. A hearty one. Yeah. We've heard this before. Yeah. The whole day of teaching still ahead of me. I can't afford to look exhausted in front of my students. Even for a wee bit, it's never a good example to set. So with another sigh, put everything at the back of my mind and tread back to my room. The rest of my day awaits. 15 minutes later, I'm heading back out, just for the day, my car keys in hand. Ordinarily, I don't stop for anything. It's never a need to. It's the beauty of this apartment complex. It's quiet and everyone keeps to themselves. No useless platitudes in the morning. No need to wear a smile on your face, lest other people are nosy enough to ask. Today, however, the morning broadcast still plays from Isabella's room. My brisk pace slows to a stop, and a frown gradually forms on my face. Is the ghost gonna show up here? No quick time event.
She hasn't.
Oh, she hasn't left. Of course, that isn't unusual. There are times when I've left earlier than she did, like last Friday, before their open house. But those days are few and far between. It only happens in the direst circumstances. Though the last part of that might be a bit of an exaggeration. However, with what happened in the last few days, maybe today is one. The death of a friend isn't something anyone can brush off. For someone like Isabella's the kind to get attached to people easily. Zachary, Ashton, and I, it's been the case. Can't imagine what she might be going through right now, especially when the woman was someone who she owed a lot, despite their training brief. Given her the space left on interference, but perhaps today might be the proper time to check on her?
Oh, whatever. I've still got time anyway.
And, oh no, she doesn't have a stomach. Wait, wrong. With light steps, I move closer to your door, and already poised to knock. So I don't do so until I hear her answer.
Isabella? Belle? Are you in there?
No answer. After a second, I finally knock. Lightly so I don't disturb her, in case she's sleeping and has merely left the telly running last night. Please don't call it a telly ever again. It's not a tubby. Never mind how she never lets that happen. Ever. Waste of electricity and all.
I just want to check on you before I leave. Is that okay? Are you going to work today, Belle?
Still nothing.
I'm about to leave. If you want, I can drop you off.
Another round of knocking. Then I'm fishing out a copy of her key from my bag and unlocking the door. She left it years ago, but I complained about the mess and offered my help in cleaning up. Thought the gesture was completely unnecessary back then. After all, I could always knock. She never did bother taking them from me. Always returning it or turning away from the conversation whenever I insisted. At one point, I simply stopped trying to hand it back to her.
Isabella? I'm coming in, all right?
Without waiting for her answer, I pushed the door open and stepped inside. Her unit's still a mess. There's noodle cups on the table, a pile of clothes on one side, papers strewn about everywhere, and an unkempt bed, among other things. This much is a given. Will always be a given. I've been here several times already, and I still wonder how she can function like a human being with this place in this state. However, that's neither here nor there. Not sure what I'm expecting, but certainly not finding an empty flat. Granted, she could have left earlier, far earlier than usual. But she never, ever leaves without making sure she's unplugged everything. That's something she doesn't forget to do. Doesn't help that our bathroom appears unused this morning. Another habit, but it can mean she hasn't been here since. Last night? Perhaps it was the morning after Miss Cooper's death. Either idea doesn't sit well with me, or with the news we've been hearing lately. Oh, this is the night where, she's over at Zachary's. Okay.
The authorities are still trying to find the cause of death for all the victims. Early investigation revealed most of them were employed under Briar Realty Corporation at the time of death. Meanwhile, BRC has refused to comment on this.
Gathering my wits, I immediately placed a call to her mobile. Rebecca Yales received a housewarming invitation addressed to her parents this morning. After informing them about it, she checked Isabella's apartment and was shocked to find that she hadn't come home last night. Rings for a good minute. It sounded comfortable in itself, but when another minute rolls by without her answering. Well, I'm not a woman prone to panicking. Some bouts of temper maybe, but never panic, despite how it may sound when speaking. When it ultimately goes straight to her voicemail, sigh is the only thing I let out. The pause doesn't last long, though. The next moment, my fingers are already moving across the screen, to show the two people who might be able to help. It's Ashton's number I find first and dial. Call it a habit, but even Isabella thinks he's dependable when the situation calls for it. Find how they give each other grief. That already says a lot about him. There's Zachary, but around this hour, he's probably still sleeping. If he has freelance work, it's very likely he's just gotten himself in bed. He's the last person I want to bother, if anything. The wait doesn't take long. Soon a click, and Ashton's voice echoes through the receiver, rough and still heavy with sleep. Never did grow fond of warnings.
Becca?
Mornings.
Christ, what time is it? What's up?
Not you, apparently.
Ooh, got him!
Good one. Did you call us early just to make that joke? I'm going back to sleep.
No, Ash, hold on. This is important.
Becca, stakeout last night. Make this quick. I've still got a few hours before the chief bothers me.
Sorry, I'll let you go back to sleep after. It's just that... Wait, you were on a stakeout last night?
Did I say that? Shit.
Uh-oh.
Forget I said that. Forget I said anything. Forget we had this conversation.
So, you have no idea?
About what? About what? I also have no idea why we're talking so early in the morning, so there's that.
No, will you stop sleep talking or whatever for a second? Belle didn't come home last night. She's gone.
Who?
Isabella!
Instead of an answer, a brief pause comes after, followed by something blunt and heavy hitting a hard surface and a string of rather colorful curses from him. That would have been one of the many things I'll keep to myself. That was a great scream. Remember fondly the next few days, if things aren't the way they are. When he picks up again, there's no trace of sleep left in his voice.
Say that again, from the top.
Isabella's gone, Ash. She didn't come home last night. Her flat's empty. She left her telly running. You know she doesn't do that at...
Okay, Becca, stop. Calm down first. You're starting to panic.
I'm not!
You are. Breathe.
Oh yeah, you have to breathe to talk, so I mean...
One person's not going to simply disappear like that. This is Isabella we're talking about. Did you try calling her?
What did you think is the first thing I did? She's not picking up. It went to her voicemail.
How about Zach? Did you check with him?
Not yet. I didn't want to bother him. You know he has trouble sleeping and all that.
All right, I'll go ask Zach. I'll call you back.
No, wait!
He answers the call before we can utter a single word of protest. But for the first time since entering this room, tension is gone from my shoulders. My breathing is eased. The bed creaks as I sink. Okay, that's what I did. Sink down on it with a sigh. The telly still blares the same uninteresting news, and I'm surrounded by clutter. All the same, it feels strangely calm to be here without worry nagging at me. I'll have to apologize to Zachary later for sending Ashton his way this early. For now, relying on the ladder for this isn't the wrong choice. Never will be. It's something I won't ever doubt in him, much like his promises. True to his words, he calls back only a few minutes later, after the last one has ended.
She's with Zach.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. She could have at least sent a message last night.
What are you, her mother?
It's one thing to hear that from Isabella, but from Ashton?
I don't want to hear anything like that from you.
Isn't that like the first choice in the game? What are you, my mom? Well, I've never chosen it, so.
I'm serious. You've got to stop treating her like she's one of your students, Becca. You don't have to keep tabs on her every time. Last I checked, she's only 3 years younger than the two of us. That's almost a decade gap from those kids you're teaching, you know.
Says the person who keeps calling her Scaredy Cat.
That's not related at all. Anyway, I'll go check how she's doing. Don't stress yourself out. You go ahead to work.
Wait, you? Don't you have a precinct to be at? Whatever happened to not treating her like one of my students? Because if anyone's going to ask me, I think you're doing the same thing.
Zach said it's an emergency. Something happened last night.
Emergency?
He didn't put in those exact same words, but it sounded like it.
Ash, what really happened? Is Isabella fine?
I mean, that's why he's going over to find out.
She's alright. She's safe. Zach let her stay the night after she... Look, okay. Z-Man wasn't clear about it, but let me handle this. I'll check on her. I'll bring her home.
Sounds like a lie if I've ever heard one. The story where he omits things so people won't fret. I'm not sure whether I should be happy he cares that much to do that. There shouldn't be a need for this between us, is there? We grew up together, didn't we? He knows I'm capable of at least hearing out the truth without it gnawing at me for the rest of the day. Knows better than that. I know him better than that. Frankly, there's plenty of other things to say about this. But despite and after all the trouble we went through, the things are moving at the moment. Only one thought occurs to me. What should I say? Well, we know Ashton goes there. That's like, that happens. That's like, already in the past. So I'm not sure. I'm gotta refer to the guide. I can handle it as negative. Okay. I was actually kind of thinking you'd be the opposite, but I'm not. That's a tough one. So, sorry for the trouble. We're back to neutral now. Recognize his concern for what it is. Wait. Were we below neutral with Ashton? Sorry for the trouble is positive. Huh. It's weird. Maybe it's a choice Isabella made, like maybe the movie theater one. Like to stay or go. It's not news for him to go out of his way for us, but to be honest, this is what I love about him. Especially as I would have loved to take this off his hands, it'll only be selfish of me to insist, considering he knows of my other commitments. To do so feels like I'll be trampling on that kindness he seldom offers to anyone.
Sorry for putting you up to this.
Nah, don't mention it. You've got other things you need to worry about. Take care of those first. This is a small thing.
I still owe you one.
Oh, I can name a few things you can do about that. You know, there's this ice cream shop that opened near the movie house. I could use.
Okay, let's stop right there. That's enough. On second thought, maybe I'll just think about it some other time.
Harsh.
We both laughed. They sound lighter and more comfortable. Like the old days, when a wayward 26-year-old is on the bottom of a list we need to worry about. This is how we find a common ground. We may not agree on a lot of things, may see things the way the other does, but the give and take is something we've learned to get used to over the years. Are they 29? Yeah, they are. Okay, I thought they were a bit younger than that. But, you know, Isabella's 26, as she just mentioned. And she mentioned 3 years younger earlier. But I thought, like, Isabella was, like, 25 and they were, like, 27. I mean, that's not a big difference, but... And Zachary's the oldest, 31. How did Zachary and Ashton meet? I want to say it was mentioned before. A robbery occurred and Ashton was there to investigate. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time led Zachary being placed as a suspect. But the rookie detective helped him clear his name. Okay. Whenever it's like this, confidence in him is the least I can offer as thanks.
Really? Thanks for this, Ash.
I'll let you know what happened afterwards, I promise. I'll call you later. You have a good day. Bye.
I admit the way he puts it isn't comforting enough. He can be blunt like that. So many unknown variables, so many words left unsaid. I wish we could simply lay them all out in the open, because like this, I'm more inclined to think that there's an exaggeration on the other's part. If it's from Zachary or Ashton, I don't know. In the end, all I can do is wait, go about my day, and hope for the best. Before leaving, I spare Isabella's room one last glance, disturbingly quiet now without her in it. I'll get answers from her later. For now, my concerns are best left here. The rest of the day slips away in a blur. Despite my best efforts in keeping this morning's events from surfacing in my mind, it sticks. In a way, everything today simply feels like a reminder. Every conversation, regardless of how casual, every topic, no matter how mundane it seems. We're still not in the divergence. Well, we're in the divergence, rather. I blame the news entirely for this. The recent happenings brought quite a few interesting stories to everyone's attention, mostly superstitious talk of death. When locals talk about death here, anyone can sure as heck count on someone bringing up that mansion Isabella sold not a few weeks ago. Even my own students won't stop yapping about it. I think it's even worse than when it was put back in the market. Now there are more stories. If this is the world reminding me of what matters, or simply because the atmosphere around this time of year calls for it, I'd rather take the latter. Huh? Okay, I get that. Just really weirdly. At least then, I can be sure people will forget about it in favor of another set of holidays after. Nevertheless, and this may be a painful thing to admit, but listening to them is a pleasant distraction while waiting for Ashton's call. I hope he didn't forget. School day's about to end soon.
No, that's got nothing with what I heard.
You always hear stuff. I'm not sure if half of them's even real. That's what a female student sounds like.
No, really. Rowan knows about it. He used to be in the same class with them.
Oh! I'm glad I didn't skip that camcorder thing. Those kids who went missing.
I can hear you from back here, you know.
Oh, Rowan's an actual character. We've only heard Kylie talk about him. He's a weird voice.
Whatever, Rowan. Anyway, the story goes like this. There were 3 of them. They entered the mansion on a dare, and they were all never seen again.
There were 4 of them. Just one of them was holding the camera.
No one knows what happened to them. Up to this day.
That's actually a pretty big plot hole. There's 4 of them.
Scary shit, man.
Cock and bull story. Calling it now.
No, you don't get it. Why don't you ask Miss Gales then? Better yet, why don't you go inside the place? I'm betting my allowance you can't do it.
The attack immediately halts when I look up, all of them suddenly pretending to be engrossed in their current activity. Still, a word to put a stopper to this nonsense is needed. Creativity and imagination fostered by these stories is one thing, but reckless ideas should be corrected before anything potentially tragic comes from
Back
it.
to your worksheets, everyone. And I don't want to hear any talk of dares or going inside that mansion. It's private property now. You'd all better stay away from it before...
And the noise, a whole lot of them go silent. You can almost hear a pin drop. Look on their faces would have made for a funny picture, but that's irrelevant at the moment. And as a student loitering around, someone's going to be in trouble.
I'll be back. If you're done, you can leave your worksheets on my desk. Keep the noise to a minimum while I'm gone, okay?
Consists their eyes on me as I walk out the door. Merely kind of anticipation. Bit unnerving, but it's far more agreeable than the feeling of being watched I've been enduring these past few days. Class is still in session for most of the rooms. A few hours once the final bell rings, however, this place will once again be filled with busy chatter and footfalls, an everyday cycle in itself. But for the moment, I let the silence guide me, my ears focusing on whatever sounds there are or there will be, searching for that distinct clanging of metal. A good minute passes. For the portion of it, only my steps echo through the halls. And another. I'm about to turn around when the sound of it halts my footsteps. It's a little muffled and infrequent, but grows louder at each interval. With the hallway devoid of people, I don't want to stop to it soon. Start to disturb the other classes still going on. Looking for it doesn't take long. All I do is follow the racket. Shortly, I'm standing in front of a nondescript row of unoccupied lockers. Better not be a ghost in here. Better be like a kid stuffed in a locker. From inside one of them, sitting in the middle, comes the noise. Knowingly disruptive now that I'm facing it. Someone's pounding on the metal door from the inside, hoping to get out. Leaning forward, I try to get a glimpse to the horizontal slats of whatever is causing it. But in this light, only darkness greets me and another round of clanging. Louder than the previous one. More desperate. Heard stories before, from other schools, from a few colleagues who had to deal with it once or twice. Though personally, I've never encountered one myself, and I can only thank the heavens I haven't yet. But
if this is another kid, some other student stuffed in a locker.
Yeah, I mean, you could try asking, be like, hey, is anyone in there? What the hell, if I straighten up and study it briefly with a frown. That delay I reach towards handle, and at once it stops. Immediately replaced by the muffled sound of a mobile phone ringing. Give the door a few raps before taking my attention away. Second, another. When nothing or no one responds, I finally avert my eyes and pull out my mobile. Ashton's voice greets me from the other end of the line, oddly cheerful in light of this morning's matter. Maybe because I'm expecting some grave or serious news from him. He's trying to get this.
Hey, Becca.
Well, you sound happy.
I do? My voice still sounds the same to me.
There are only two things I know of that could be the reason for that tone. Sweet, so he's getting a good lead in this case. From the sound of it, I'm going to assume it's the former, since lately that case is all that's running inside his head. There's ever a third one? Never heard of it. Yet. Is he... Oh, yeah, you don't have his, because... Right. I assume sweets are mentioned in his likes. It'll only be one of the two now.
Ignore that. How's Isabella?
Drove her home a few minutes ago. I think she's sleeping now. Sorry this took a while. Z-Man gave us the puppy eyes after we tried to leave. Had some food prepared for us, apparently. We didn't have the heart to say no.
That's all right. Is she okay now?
I'm not really sure. She didn't say anything to Zach, but she mentioned a plan to take a few days off from work. It was a passing comment before I left her, so I didn't get to ask.
Must be because of Rose's death.
Could be. It doesn't seem like it from Zach's story, though. He said she was shaking when she got there.
Shaking?
The word triggers a memory. From 3 days ago, on the way home from her little treat after she sold the mansion. Didn't think much more of it at the time, but I won't lie. It scared me. Terrified look on her face, and she sounded when she suddenly screamed.
Becca? Still there?
Yeah, I just remembered something. Sorry, don't mind me.
Look, if you can talk to her, get the story out of her. That would be great. She wouldn't talk to Zach or me even when I tried. Maybe she'll speak up if it's you?
I'll give it a go, but I can't promise anything, okay? You know how stubborn she can get. But thanks for letting me know about this.
Yeah, obviously.
If you want, I can get you that ice cream thing you mentioned tonight. As thanks.
Bold.
Just as thanks for all the trouble I've caused today.
You're not very subtle, Rebecca.
Believe me, I'd love to take you up on that offer, but I've got something on my schedule this evening. Maybe some other time?
Ashton, you're what? Your schedule?
Thanks a lot, Becca.
Ashton, remember how I put you above Rebecca on the tier list? Yeah, you just lost that. Oh wait, I just remembered. Rebecca saying schedule. Never mind. Ashton, you're still good. What's that on the window? Is it a tree? There's a short pause before he cuts the call from his end. Once again, I'm alone with my thoughts. But rather than answers, all I got out from it are questions. More of them, one on top of the other, as if the world isn't planning to give me a break anytime soon. But that's a problem I'll tackle later. Right now, I've got a student who needs to be taught follies of eavesdropping. The slightly open door, their smothered laughter from inside is an indication.
All right, enough eavesdropping. All of you, back to your seats.
Oh, got her! Is that your boyfriend, Miss Gales?
It's none of your business.
He totally is. Tee-hee. Quick scuffle follows that comment. These are your tort prepared at the tip of my tongue. Drop every pretense of letting it loose on them. Still use arguing with teenagers sometimes, boisterous as they all are. They're still my kids, though. I forgot the ages, maybe, but they're still my kids. Shaking my head, I head back to my classroom with a smile, not before taking a glance at the locker again. Hasn't made a sound since.
Must be the wind.
Rebecca has to die. That was a death flag. We have to kill her. Without another look, I leave it alone. Oh. What was the point of that? Whose perspective was that from? I don't understand, because she didn't look at it again, so how did we see it? Because this is Rebecca's perspective. That was stupid. Worried about her friend's behavior, Rebecca informed Ashton about Isabella's disappearance. Turning out she spent the night at Zachary's, and Ashton offered to pick her up. Rebecca went to school after, and had a strange encounter in the hall wet. One of her students' lockers, hall wet. How far are we in? 30 minutes? Yep. Oh, well, I was 2 seconds late. Pretty much exactly. We're not at the comment route yet, but we might as well be. So we'll call it there. I'll see you guys next time with some more of the letter. Oh yeah, we'll meet Luke next time. And I don't know if what's the alternative to the Luke route? Do you get like Ashton choices, or I know there's a point where I have other things to do. Which we chose that to go see Ashton instead. But you can go full Luke. I don't know what I'll do yet. I'll decide next time when I get there. See you guys then with some more of the letter. Bye.